Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everybody. So for the duration of the month, we're going to pretty much be back at the regularly scheduled time for the show. So recently, Gabrielle Union, and let me just say this. I hate to use her as an example of anything. I cannot, the level of disdain that I got for that woman don't make no sense, considering the fact that I do not know that woman. I have never met that woman, and I probably will never in life ever meet that woman. But I do not like that woman. Okay? I just do not. I don't like Dwayne Wade either. I don't like him either. I don't like him. Because he noodle backed it. And he let her run amok in that household. He let her do whatever she was doing. And he just stay there and he don't say nothing. He let her turn his son into a girl. He don't say nothing. He let her exploit the child. He don't say nothing. So they got a whole like situation going on that is extremely removed from anything regarding an actual marriage between people. They got some other kind of arrangement. They got some other kind of industry arrangement going on. Okay, that's what I believe. So there's a part of me that don't want to do this video or don't want to do this live show because it's her. But there are some points that I want to make. So I guess she can be used as a jumping point to make my point. So I'm just going to let this video play real quick. I don't think it's that long. If I want to, I might run it twice. I don't know. But just hear it out, I guess.
They said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't have and I need him to be 100. It's a trauma response. And 50-50 is I'm not going to be vulnerable enough to trust you with 100% of anything, not my heart, not my cash. And when I started to really address that, and I was like, do you want to pay whole mortgage? I thought I was about to die. I had such anxiety. Like I was crying, I was shaking. And he was like, you insisted on that. He's like, I thought it made you feel better. I'm like, it did. And right now I want to take it back. Now it sounds crazy to be like, you, Mr. NBA superstar who made a bazillion more amount of money than I do, can pay the mortgage, because I hate the feeling of releasing that to someone. And you release that to someone, chaos can happen. And it's brought us closer. because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough, famously said, enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
As you heal, as you evolve, as you lean more into vulnerability, you can also change how you feel about something, and it's okay. Sometimes when we build those walls up for safety or to keep what we think is harm out, we can also keep love out too.
Enough to be open enough to 50-50 or bust, right?
Let's talk about the concept of 50-50. She said, let's go back.
Right. And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't have, and I need him to be 100. It's a trauma response. And 50-50 is, I'm not going to be vulnerable enough to trust you with 100% of anything, not my heart, not my cash. And when I started to really address that, and I was like, do you want to pay whole mortgage? I thought I was about to die. I had such anxiety. Like,
let's address some of what she just said. See, everything that she just said was rooted in her lack of respect for him. The entire marriage, or the image of it that we're getting, displays her lack of respect and pretty much her contempt for this man. Not only is she operating in her masculine, she's operating in disrespect. The reason why I'm saying it's disrespect is because you trust the men that you respect. That's why we respect the men, because we trust them. The men that we respect have our respect as lionesses because we trust them. Otherwise, they can't get our respect. Respect them for what? You're untrustworthy. The attribute of being untrustworthy cancels out respect to a large degree, because you can't really respect a person that in all of their dealings are untrustworthy in their dealings. They lose respect because you start to see them as a sham. You start to see them as a fraud, a fake, a phony. You start to see them in that light, a snake. You would do somebody dirty, so therefore you really don't respect a person when you know you can't trust them, and when they display untrustworthiness as a consistent attribute. So this is where disrespect comes in, because she doesn't respect him, and because of that, she never gave him an opportunity to prove whether or not he could be trusted. She came into the so-called marriage looking for a way not to trust him. She wasn't looking. She was ready to be this hyper independent female that was married. She did not attempt interdependency, because when we talk about 50-50, that's for people who it makes sense for them to combine incomes in order to move forward. That's not for the very wealthy. 50-50 is not for the very wealthy. because when they got together, she wasn't making NBA money, but she had money of her own. So it was not like he got some broke chick out of a Taco Bell job and just laced her up. The only difference was she wasn't making his level of money, which is fine. In that particular kind of case, which only really the 1%, of people in America really even have that to that degree, money to that degree, I would not have gone 50-50 at all. Now, that's not to say that my money would not have, because at that level, this is not about mortgage and rent. She made it about mortgage and rent and all of that. At that level, the money is about investments and things of that nature. This isn't about a light bill. And you know what I'm saying? In a condo, they're not paying a couple of $100s for the light. You see what I'm saying? They're not living how the day-to-day working class people are living. And their money concerns are different than working class people money concerns are, or poor people money concerns. Their rich people money concerns is different. Okay. So it's not about, man, can I put half on the mortgage? But if I make money, I'm considered rich, but you have more money than me as my husband. I'm not really looking to come into this paying bills necessarily. However, my money can be used for mutual investments, money moves that we're going to make, because you're not going to be playing in the NBA forever. That's limited. My acting career, depending on how good of an actress I am, can actually extend further than your athletic career. She's not this super A-list actor, but I'm just saying theoretically. If she was a better actress, she could still be working. And she could work to old age. Dwayne Wade can't play ball till he's 50. So at that point, our money concerns how we view assets and liabilities and build businesses and invest our money and, do different things. That's what our money do at this point. She made it petty. She made it petty because when they got into the marriage, he was paying everything. She moved into his house. Okay? So their marriage started out more or less as a regular kind of marriage, or so, it seemed. They got married. She moved into his house. Obviously, he make more money than her. She was the one that brought it to pettiness. She did 50-50 because she's a control freak. Not because he asked her, not because that was necessary for the family to move forward financially, not because she was looking to invest and support and things of that nature. She was using 50-50 as a weapon. Because she a control freak. And she really masculine. So she wasn't even coming into the whole 50-50 thing in a feminine support role. She was trying to have a D-swinging contest financially with a person that made substantially more money than her. How stupid can you be? This is the same person that believed that if she was the breadwinner in the relationship did that give her a right to cheat? Because she said that's what men think. Men say if they pay everything, they can cheat. She said, so if I pay everything, I can cheat. She's full of a lot of tit for tats. She's full of a lot of D-swinging that she likes to do with men, particularly the men that she's in relationship with. And she's full of a lot of competitive. She like to compete. She don't want to be supportive. She is the epitome of believing that a feminine role is a weak one. She's weak if she falls into a more feminine capacity in a relationship. So therefore, she decides that she wants to do, or she wants to wear the pants all the time and control things. Thanos. He said women don't do 50-50. She gonna pay for all of it, or she will add the tip 20-30%. The closer it gets to half, the math gets fuzzy in her head. To a certain degree, I can agree with that, but I would wager that more women is putting more money into these households and these little live-in situationships, and they get on the internet and cap about it. These women is cap. They cap. They lie about being proposed to all the time. They lie about that. Those are lies. Those are lies. They get on here and say what men propose and what that ain't nobody proposed to them. Half of that stuff is fantasy stuff that's not happening to them. The reason that they barking about spending money in the household is because they spend it. Most people are just averagely making it or just scraping by. So she buying stuff. She paying bills. She in there buying groceries. The car that they driving is in her name and all of this other kind of stuff. They is putting that money in there because ain't nobody got no money to just be not having no help. This why they squawk about it. And then they want to get online and try to tell somebody what they not gonna do, and they ain't paying. They paying out their nose. They paying out their nose. Please don't believe them. Please don't, especially the ones that's got some, not the little young ones. These young ones right now ain't hardly got no job. But the ones in their 30s and stuff like that, working, the job kind of steady. She a nurse. Man, she paying that money, man. She paying that money. These chicks ain't got it like that. These chicks is not out here they ain't got it like that. They is paying that money. They is paying. And then they gets online to try to lie to everybody, to try to make some kind of wayward point about what they ain't going to do. And when they get married, he got to be 100% provider male. That is cap. That's cap, Thanos. That is cap, Bookie. I don't bit more believe it because I see too many of these women doing it. I done seen too many of them. I done seen too many. They come somewhere and they lie about it. They lie to each other about it, so they won't they think it make it look stupid if they say that they're putting in a significant amount of money into the household. The reason they feel a way about it, I'm gonna tell you why they be feeling a way about it. Because they be doing all of this stuff, but it don't be no commitments. They be doing this stuff in situationships and stuff. And then they be getting mad. They gets mad when the man don't do what they say, or he don't commit the way that they think. They be trying to pay for the relationship. They be trying to pay for, well, if I do this and do that and he'll be with me longer, or he'll commit to me, or he'll do all this other stuff. Whatever it is they done made up in their head about what they want him to do and what it was supposed to be. So then they get around here and they start putting in, they put in their little paychecks too. And then if the relationship don't do what they thought it should do, or he quote unquote cheat, or all this other stuff, then that's when they get in a bag about it. And then they start throwing it up. Well, I pay this and I do that and and I helped you with this and I bought this for you, and then they start going off. They not coming into doing it. When they pay, they not coming into it with a positive attitude. They are coming into it with, this is, I'm gonna throw it up in your face later. This is the stuff that I'm doing. They're investing, trying to make him have a committed relationship with them. That's what it be most of the time. They don't even be married to these men doing all that. That's why they would be feeling played after that. But ain't no use in feeling played. You paid for it. So that's just my take. These women be out here they be calling themselves trying to pay. So getting back to Miss Gabby Union here. She was trying to weaponize the 50-50. How you trying to weaponize 50-50 with a man that make substantially more money than you? That's the part that's real stupid. So I think she explains it in this one. I'm gonna let her explain what her problem is.
I was crying, I was shaking, and he was like, you insisted on that. He's like, I thought it made you feel better. I'm like, it did. And right now I want to take it back. Now it sounds crazy to be like, you, Mr. NBA superstar who made.
It was key. That part was key. He said, you insisted on this. You did this. So I don't know why you're sitting out having a nervous breakdown, trying to keep up with me financially. And the reason that she even doing all of this, she said, is because they got into it and he said, this my house. Her and her complete masculine energy got offended. But you did move into his house. And he probably called himself trying to stand on his square somehow and say, I'm the man of the house, whatever the case may have been. And then she felt offended. You know, she wanted to say, she's portraying it as if he was throwing it in her face. Like he was throwing his money and his ability to provide at that level in her face. So in order to prevent him from being able to say that, she convinced him to get a house that they can go half on, so that he can't say it's my house, because technically she spent half the money to get it and half the money to keep it. That is not coming into it trying to build together with your husband. That is competing with him. I don't want you to say anything about what you do for me, because I don't want to have to be checked by it. I want to be able to act a fool and be disrespectful and be masculine and be, and you know what I'm saying, and just act a fool around here without you saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? She didn't want him to be able to pull no card on her. She was using this 50-50 thing to remove any leverage of authority that he had in the relationship. Because she said 50-50 financially and everything all across the board, right? But we know it was mostly financial, because now she talking about mortgages. Oh, you can't keep up? That's why she's having a shaking fit, because your money getting tight. And the reason your money getting tight is because you stupidly wanted to do 50-50 in a situation with a man that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Goofball. Instead of focusing on your acting career, getting your money up, making good investments, and in that way, you don't even got to do the acting career. You know, it can be here or there. You was never A-list, no way. I ain't never watched no movie because Gabby was in it. So, you know, you could have did anything with that money and got your bread up. You ain't even get your bread up. What did you do? What did you invest in? What business did you start? What enterprise did you fund? You know, what did you do? That your money so tight, because that last interview she did when she announced that she was doing 50-50, then she got to talk about how she be paying for her extended family. So you put that stress on yourself. You brought it on yourself. You brought that on yourself, Bookie, because you want to be in your masculine energy. You don't want to trust the man that you marry, because you do not respect the man that you marry. So therefore, you quote unquote don't feel safe with the man that you marry. This is what these hyenas talk about when they talking about not feel safe. When hyenas talk about not feeling safe, they like to blame the man for that. He doesn't make me feel safe. When the more it's more to the truth of it, that they don't even respect these men. The men that hyenas do not respect men that marry them and take them seriously. Let's just get that straight. Hyenas do not respect the men that would marry them and take them seriously, because they know that they are not worth that. So they be trying to figure out what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you? Why you over here? I can't trust your decision making, because part of your decision making was finding me suitable. That's why hyenas don't trust the decision making of the husbands that they're with, because your decision making gotta be off. Your discernment got to be off. You picked me. I am going to give you hell in a handbasket. Do you understand this? I was doing that in the dating phase. I was acting a fool in the dating phase. You taking me down the aisle after all this foolishness? Oh, I'm gonna really act up now. I'm gonna really act up now. Cause what's wrong with you? That is why hyenas do not like the men that choose them, because it's something wrong with you. That's how they figure. It's something wrong with you. So you mean to tell me you willing to pour all of your goodness into me just because I said so? You do what I say? Let me see how much foolish men I can do. And see if you gonna take it. That's the only time they gain respect for the man that they initially don't respect, if he don't let them get away with too much. And up until they'll let her leave, you can go. That's the only time they be like, oh, okay, he'll let me go. He'll let me go. But see, that's rare though. Lionesses do not even bother to try to be in meaningful, committed relationships with men that they didn't respect to begin with. The reason we don't even bother with that is because if I don't respect you, I cannot even submit to you. I'm not gonna do nothing that you say. You're not gonna get, you actually not gonna get what I want to give to a relationship. So because I already done peep game on that, sir, if we just might as well not even, we can't do it. We can't do this. Was it? No, it is just no, there's no talking me into it. We can't do it. Bye, goodbye. You don't have we don't respect you enough to play with you like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't respect you enough to get into a relationship. So anything other than a real relationship is playtime. And we don't really got time for the playtime. The playtime is not, we're not doing the playtime. Okay? We lionesses need men that they respect, because we need men that we're going to submit to and listen to, so that when he tell us something or he make a correction, we're not resentful of the fact that he does it. We actually can respect it because we respect him in the first place. So when he comes to correct, or he comes to bring order, or he says anything to us, even if it's hard to hear, even if, you know what I'm saying, all of these other emotions come into play for us, the end result is that we're going to listen to what he said, because ultimately we respect this man. So when we can respect them, and that happens almost immediately, we know whether or not we gonna respect you. We know whether or not we can. So once we get that together, okay, I respect you. Now we can move forward with the relationship, because a relationship is not, it's not a relationship without the respect at all. We know this. Lionesses know this. There is not a relationship if there's no respect. Respect is tied to trust. If we respect you, then we start trusting you. We give you an opportunity to build trust with us, because the respect is the baseline. That's the base. The foundation is respect. So once the foundation is respect, there's now space for us to sit back. And now the trust building process can now occur, because we're not fighting you tooth and nail. And it's a scary thing, actually. That trust building process is actually scary, because that's happening in the get to know you process. So now we're listening to the things that you say. We're watching how you move about your life. And then, you know, that builds trust with us. Okay, he does make good decisions, not just with me, but with other stuff he do. He's solid. This is a solid guy. He makes solid decisions. He got a good head on his shoulders. I can do this. I can do this. Hyenas do not go into relationships with respect. This is why their relationship never work, because you have to go in with respect. If you can't go into a real relationship not respecting this guy, because if you don't respect this man, why are you with him? What's the point of that? Because if you get into anything with him and you never respected him, so that means you never gonna trust him. If you never trust him, then that means you always going to clash with him. He's not going to be nothing he can tell you. You're going to be doing stuff on your own. You're going to not be listening. You're not going to be taking his problem solving. You're not going to respect his foresight. You're not going to listen to, any instruction that he may have for you, because you don't respect them and you don't trust them. And you purposely doing it like that. This is why hyenas find it to be okay to do stuff like when I covered the guy and he had fell on hard times and, he had got into an accident and stuff like that. And his wife had been siphoning money out of the account and putting it in a secret account. And so even when he had to, he was trying to recover and he had 2 jobs and they started struggling, she did not even put none of that money in. He ended up finding out that she had been taking that money. And hyenas was like, oh, well, they didn't want to say she was stealing the money. She was stealing it. How do you steal from your husband? How? And hyenas did not even want to acknowledge that it was wrong. They did not want to acknowledge that she was stealing it. That was just flat out theft. It was flat out theft. He didn't know. It ain't like y'all had this conversation. He did not know that you was doing that. And you watch that man struggle. Like, what? He's struggling trying to take care of you. He done got into an accident, the job ain't the same, the money ain't the same. And you just sitting back on your tuffy. And hyenas they was defending it. After these messages, we'll be right back. Everybody go to the link that is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com, and get your body butter and your personal care products to keep your skin looking good, surely you use this all winter. If it was wintertime where you were at, to make sure that your skin stayed smooth and moisturized and wasn't getting chapped by the harsh cold wind. And now spring is trying to show a little ankle. Summertime is around the corner. We got to make it look right, make it look tight. So if that's what you need to do, then you definitely need to click the link at the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. If this is going to be your first order, take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you, Guy Incognito. So the movie roles dried up. Tyler, get your girl. Right, they dried up. Because she probably hard to work with. She looked like she a whole chore. Thank you, RBNs that work in the hospital. You understand how many of these Black female nurses are taking care of deadbeat men and cap all night about what they were not going to put up with, then be lined up in the morning waiting on their car. Exactly. It's all cap. So she hit the lottery with D-Wade, but talk about him like he's beneath her because it hit her ego and she ain't recovered yet. Thank you, Miss Mia, for your super sticker. I appreciate you, sweetheart. And thank you, FBI. Said no respect, no trust. Thanos said he remember a time. So I remember a time that I was discriminated against for being ashy. I was held back from jobs. Then after ass kicking, I still didn't get the job, but I wasn't ashy anymore. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, they said that on AGT. She looked like she difficult everywhere. She don't look like that's just something she can't turn that off. She can't turn that off. That insufferable characteristics that she got, she look insufferable. She look insufferable and pompous and nothing's good enough. Everything, she look bossy. You know, she got to be right all the time. You can't say nothing and she got to correct it. You know, then it's got to be she definitely that person. She definitely that person. She's definitely that person. That is not just something that she do with that man. She do that everywhere. Because think about it. There's no reason why she should not be bigger in Hollywood. She's cute enough. Gabrielle not ugly. She got an ugly attitude, but she not ugly. So if she had a sweet kind of disposition, or at least just a professional disposition, you know what I'm saying? She cool to work with, you know, I'm sure that she would have gone much further. There are actresses at her level that had longer careers. Everybody can't be A-list, but you can be B-list and still make a very good career. There's nothing wrong with it. But she looked like she can't tolerate it when she's not the headline. You know, you ain't got headline talent. You ain't got headline talent. Again, I have never watched no movie and said, "Ooh, Gabby in it. Let me see it." I ain't never did that. Now, I may have watched a movie and she happened to be in it, but I certainly have not chosen a movie and said, "Ooh, I got to see that new Gabby Union movie." I ain't never did that. I mean, no shade, no tea, but okay. She wish she had a penis so bad. She want a penis so bad. Oh, she want a penis so bad. All she would do is sit there and play with it all day if she had a penis. She want a penis so bad. She do. She would mushroom stamp people if she had one. If she had a penis and some balls, she would. You would not be able to stop her. She would have all kind of OnlyFans. Oh, she would wave it around. Don't let it have been big. She would wave it around, honey. That's what she want. That's what she want. She wants to have the aesthetic of a woman, but that little fake masculine energy she got, that is penis envy to the max. She do not like that she was born a female, and like not I don't mean biologically. She don't like the role of women. She don't even like the concept of the traditional woman. She don't like that. She don't like, you know what I'm saying, the softness. She feel that that's weak and not respectable. That's what she feel. That's where the strong penis envy is coming from. So I don't mean that she want like a sex change. I mean, she wants the dominance of men. She wants the natural authority and dominance of a man. And a lot of times that's attached to his physical penis. That's where the phrase big D energy come from. Because men that know that they got their masculinity and don't let them be well endowed. The only reason they don't bop folk upside the head with it is because it's inappropriate. But they definitely walking around like, yeah, you know, it's what you think it is. It's what you think it is. And she would love to have big D energy. She want to have it. She just can't. She can't generate that energy because she a female. And females can't generate that energy because we don't have it. We don't have innate authority. We don't have innate, you know, innate aggression and assertion, and you know what I'm saying? And then the power to utilize it. Now, it's levels to it. Some men are better at that than other men. But there are men who walk around and they just, you know, he got the sauce. He just got the sauce. He just got it. He just got it. And he ain't even rubbing your face in it. And, you know, a lot of times those men are some of the most pleasant men. They smile at everybody. They very affable men. They get along. They friendly. Because they ain't mad at nobody. Because they know what they know, what they know. And women like her be mad at that. They be mad at that. They be upset. Women like Gabby, who is obsessed with penis envy. She cannot accept that she's a female, that she has the energy of a female, no matter how much she tries to be in that masculine space. It's just unbecoming. You never achieve what men achieve. Masculinity is male superpower. It is a detriment to females. The only time any semblance of masculine energy work for us is when we get like the drive to go and get stuff and do stuff and be real active. That's a kinetic energy, which I tie to masculine energy. Feminine energy is more passive. So the only time some of that energy, because everybody embodies some level of feminine and masculine energy, right? But the only time that it's real beneficial is situational. Women have to be situationally in masculine energy. She can't remain in masculine energy. It's not good. It's not good for her. It doesn't bode well for her. That's not her strength. That's not her strength. For example, I'll give you an example. When women are out alone by themselves, running their errands, going to the store, whatever that they, and their husbands are not with them. She don't gotta be trying to be tough like a guy, but she has to embody some masculine traits. Like she gotta watch where she's going, where the exit. She got to look at the people around her, really look at them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, okay, that one over there acting crazy. What's that about? She has to get into that headspace. Men are naturally in that headspace. Do y'all put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about? That's the kind of masculine space that women can get into, and it's helpful for her. More observant, a little bit more forward. It doesn't help her to shrink all the time in every situation. Sometimes she needs to be a little bit more assertive. I've had to be assertive. People walking up, men walking up, he's panhandling and he's asking questions. He's walking up on me. Now I'm more assertive. I'm not shrinking back. Oh, what is it? I'm not talking like that. What is it? Can I help you? Now I'm not trying to be a man who's walking around but a little bit more assertive energy. I'm not giving him this soft feminine, oh, well, what is it? How can I help you? Because sometimes that's a target. You make yourself a target with that. So it's like, well, what is it? Don't get too close to me. Why are you walking up? May I help you? Oh, yeah, ma'am. I was just, make it quick. Because I'm not really trying to stand here talking to you and gip a gap. And now I'm looking around because you might be trying to distract me from something else. What is this, a setup? You got to think like that. So when a woman is by herself, she has to have a more, be more situationally aware. And that's something that men naturally kind of do. Feminine energy benefits men in particular, like when they interact with children, particularly girl children, right? So you got a dad that's got a little girl. She want to play tea time with him. Now, he ain't going to be like, I'm too masculine to play. I'm too macho to play. I don't play tea time. That's your little, she too. She want to feed you tea. She done fed mama tea already. She don't want to play tea time with mama. She want to play tea time with you. And you're going to have to sit there and play tea time with her. She cooking you something in that little plastic kitchen that y'all got her for Christmas. That's what she doing. You're going to have to eat that little fake food now. You have to sit there and eat them little rubber hamburgers and act like they taste good and say, ooh, this tastes so good, baby. Ooh, you used to cook so good. Okay. She gonna come and ask you how she look in her princess dress. Daddy, you like that? You like, turn around, baby. Ooh, spin around. Ooh, wait. You gonna have to do it. That's not super macho, but that's your daughter. You gotta be macho with her. But chicks like Gabrielle, they make their own hardship. And now you want to be somewhere having a nervous breakdown about the results and the consequences of something that you pushed to happen. He said, I thought you wanted it. You said it would make you feel better. I did, and now I don't know what to do. For real, I ought to keep making you pay. I ought to keep making you pay. Since you wanted to be a man and you wanted to, don't put your penis away now. Don't put your D away now. No, swing it. Swing it. Swing it. You want to swing it? You think you got one in your pants? Pull it out. Don't tuck it now. Don't you dare tuck it now. I ought to make you stand in it. Since that's what you want to do, now you want to be in your soft girl era because you can't afford it no more. That's what it is. Because I guarantee you, if that money was rolling in and she was rolling in dough and getting a whole bunch of, acting roles and stuff like that, she wouldn't talk about that 50-50 stuff. That money low, baby. You know it's low for her. She don't want to spend it no more. And it doesn't make sense. He's an NBA player, and why am I not paying him mortgage? He was paying the mortgage at first. You should have left it like that. But no, you ain't want to leave it like that. You wanted to swing your D, so go ahead and swing it. Oh, you don't got one? Is that what it is? Huh? It's not there? It was a strap on? I ought to buy a bigger house and with a bigger mortgage on it, make you pay for that. Because that's what a man would do with his money. We gonna get some bigger investments, make you pay. Since you wanna be all in a man's role. Since you want to be all in his space. You don't get to pick and choose which part of the man's space you're in. You want to be all in the man's space. You want to run everything, right? You want to tell folk what to do. You want to run it. Everybody got to run stuff through you and be scared, and walk on. She look like you the type that you got to walk on eggshells around that house with her. Now you want to be in your soft girl era. You should have did that first. You done messed that boy up beyond redemption. Now you want to be in a soft girl era. Girl, if you don't get out of here, you done messed up that little boy. Because it wasn't none of your little boy, so you didn't care. I ain't gonna never not think that she did that because that's not her child. So she didn't care how that messed him up. And then it exploits him and puts him on magazine. You already messed him up. He's standing there tall as his daddy. And ain't nothing but a teenager. Foot's big, them hands getting big. What you gonna do about him when he start growing that little hair out his face and all that kind of stuff? He looked like a little boy. Exactly. And that's why she don't respect him. That's why she don't, because he lets her do stuff. And he lets her do all of this kind of thing. It's so damaging and so sad that he lets her do it. She'll never respect him. There's nothing that he can do to get respect from her. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right. EJ running around here looking just like Magic. He looked just like Magic too. He about big as him. He tall as him. He tall. EJ about 6 foot what? With them big old size 15 foots. And showing up in an evening gown at 6'7". With that big face. Standing there with heels on and an evening gown. And a 27 piece stuck in his head. Right. EJ a big, tall, big-faced. You know he got a big face. He's just everything about him big. Hands big, foot's big, face big, head big, back big. You know, he ain't fat, but he just big. He's just a big old man. That's a big old man. A 27 piece, the women should know, a 27 piece is hair pieces, and it is 27 pieces in the package, and it's designed to make short pixie styles. You glue it in, you know, sew it in, and it's supposed to be like a pixie. Yeah, how you running around here wearing custom-made kitten heels? Anyway, this done devolved into a roast. I can't get back to the original point at this point. I'm gonna try to show y'all a 27 piece good. Let me see. A 27 piece. It's stuff like this. Let me. Okay, can you see that? Let me try to. It's design. It's this. Okay. Can y'all see? No, y'all can't see it because I ain't got it on there. This had it. This what it look like. And it come in a little package. There's about 27, 28 pieces in there of hair, little, you know, of different lengths and stuff like that. And you supposed to be able to get these kind of styles out of it. Okay. Okay. You supposed to be able to get like pixie cuts and stuff. Now, the purpose of that is a lot of times when women either hair too short for it or their hair is too long, and they braid it down and put that on there. They want the short style but don't want to cut their hair off, and that's why they make a short one. So they call it 27 piece. Off topic. What made me convert and become Muslim? I consider myself a Christian. My story is long, but I'm gonna try to condense it real quick. I started my spiritual journey at about 13 years old. And the first thing that I did was I read the Bible. King James Version, that's what we grew up on. And I read that Bible several times from front to back, from cover to cover. And about that second, third time that I read that Bible, I said to myself, I am not a Christian. And I didn't mean that I was rejecting the concept of God. What I was rejecting was what the preachers was preaching in them churches. By reading the Bible, I realized they didn't know the Bible. And it's not that I became some type of scholar about it. It was just basic reading. So I'm like, okay, the stuff that they talk about in the pulpit don't exactly match what's going on in this book. And if this is the book that we're supposed to be following as Christians, then why aren't these preachers actually coming from this book? They do and they don't. They say a lot of stuff that's supposed to be in the book, or they think is in the book, is not in the book, or the understanding of it was not correct. So it was like verses, but out of context. And it's like, okay, yeah, we heard these stories, this story of this one and this story of that one, on Sunday. But when you read the whole chapter, or when you read the whole thing, that's not really how it was, right? That they misunderstood that stuff. So it's like, I can't. Now, I couldn't say that to my mama now. Let me get that straight. I still had to go to church. I didn't actually become Muslim until I was 18. So that was a 5-year journey that I took. So I didn't go from Christian to Muslim. I went from Christian to searching and then Muslim. The reason that I refer to, Jasmine says, I only ask because I noticed you refer to the Quran and the Bible. The reason that I do that is because Muslims know that the Torah and the Psalms and the Gospel specifically are books revealed from Allah. Those are Allah's books. Now, they have been mistranslated and corrupted over time to enough that it can't completely be trusted. But all the truth has not been removed from it either. They cannot remove all of the truth out of it. So the Muslims do not discount the Torah. We know that Moses was given the Torah, peace be upon him. And we know that the Psalms was given to Dawood, peace be upon him. And we know that the Injil, the gospel, was given to Isa, Jesus, peace be upon him as well. And then the Quran was given to Muhammad. And the Quran states that it is there to correct what came before it. And Allah tells us that he revealed those books. It was not a false thing. He revealed those books. He revealed that law. The law that he gave to Moses, he revealed that law. That was a law that he gave that came from him. So just because it got corrupted through all these thousands of years and stuff like that, that's why the Muslims don't follow the Bible. But we don't discount it either. We can't, because it's from Allah. So we can't say it's not from Allah. If that is clear. So it's the two branches of Ismail and Ishaq. So Ishmael and Isaac are the sons of Abraham. This is why they call all three of them the Abrahamic religions. It's not really even supposed to be three. It's all supposed to be one thing. It's all supposed to be one thing. But people were peopling, and so now it's not. But Abraham had two sons, Ishmael and Isaac, right? Through Isaac came all of that progeny. Ishmael, Muhammad is the descendant of Ishmael. I hate to get into this lesson. No, I don't hate it, but hopefully I'm not, because it's deep and I'm trying to condense it. So all of the prophets are actually like their brethren. And in this instance, they are descendants of one another. So Allah said he gave books to Musa and law. So Musa was a Rasul. He came with a book and a Sharia. That's important. He had a book and he had a law. Jesus, David had a book, not a law. It was still the law of Moses. Jesus had a book, not a law. Still the law of Moses. Muhammad had a book and a law. That's the difference. Muhammad was given a book, but he was also given a law. And only Allah is able to change his law. He created the law, so only he have the authority to alter it. And he did. So we don't discount all the rest of the lines of prophets either. We have to believe in them. Because no matter if their message got distorted or not, they weren't the ones that distorted their message. They came with the truth. So we have to believe in their prophethood. And they were the prophets of their time. And people were obliged to follow them during their time until the next prophet come along. So it's a succession. It was never meant to create different religions. It's all the same religion. All the prophets preach the same thing. All of them. Muhammad said, La ilaha illallah. There is no God. There is nothing worthy of worship besides Allah. There is no God but Allah. The first commandment. Thou shalt not have any other God before me. Hear, O Israel, your God is one God. All of it is La ilaha illallah. Same thing. The message has been consistent. The laws have changed here and there, but the overarching message has always been Allah's message. He has always been the one to send them. And he sends them with a consistent message. Believe in his oneness. The consistent message is believe in his oneness. Believe in the oneness of Allah. Do not attribute partners. Do not idol worship. Allah is one Allah. Just one. There's nothing else. Nothing else to be worshipped. Only Allah can be worshipped. That's number one. That is Tawheed, the message of Tawheed. And then the prophets taught their risalat, that they indeed were the messengers of Allah, that they have come in truth, and that Allah ordained them. Allah sent them. Allah gave them a message to impart to their people. So their messengerhood, their risalat. And lastly, akhirat, that the hereafter is real, that the day of judgment, the day of standing, the day of resurrection is a real thing, and that we would have to stand before Allah and give account of ourselves, and there we would be assigned either paradise or hell. So 3 things consistent: Tawheed, the oneness of Allah; Risalat, their messengership. Musa was the messenger of Allah. Abraham was the messenger of Allah. Jesus was the messenger of Allah. David was the messenger of Allah. So forth and so forth. And then the akhirat, the hereafter, is a real thing. You die and then Allah resurrects you. This life is not the only life you live. Those are the 3 key things that every prophet sent by Allah taught and told his people. And sometimes the people listened and sometimes they didn't. So hopefully that made sense. Thank you, Sister Beshua. Says, for me, one of her most memorable movies is Deliver Us from Eva. She probably even realized. I never watched that movie. I have never watched that movie. Now I might have to watch it. Thank you, Cody. So I work with young ladies with this attitude. And he said, keep on telling the truth, sister, respect. And thank you again, Miss Mia, for your super stick. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know, I only went into that because I was asked that question. I realized that my entire audience is not Muslim and therefore may not share these viewpoints. That's perfectly fine by me. I know that already. But I was asked for the Muslim viewpoint. She asked me all that, but you know, need to kind of go into it. So hopefully those things make sense of what the Muslims believe in this regard. All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.